It is the most wonderful match of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. I'm Dave Morris here in the Oklahomans video studio. Happy to be joined by this gentleman, Rodney Bivens, Executive Director of the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. Sir, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, and Merry Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. And how are your holidays going so far?
They're going well. You know, we can't complain about the weather. It's been great, except for the ice storm over Thanksgiving.
How random is that?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Thanksgiving was pretty decent, although you sort of knew there was some foreshadowing, some dark clouds, and then an ice storm. And now it's probably, break out the T-shirts this week.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's Oklahoma weather, as we always say.
It is Oklahoma weather. I mentioned how holidays for you. How are holidays at the Regional Food Bank going?
Well, the winter months are always a tough time for the food bank because people are sometimes having to make decisions whether they can afford to pay the utilities, afford to pay their rent, or put food on their table. And as you know, those are decisions we don't want Oklahomans to have to make. And so we're having a great opportunity this year for our match, as you mentioned.
Well, let's talk about the wonderful match of the year. And you've got a couple partners involved in this.
We do. Crescent Family Foundation has literally stepped up to the plate, as well as Chesapeake Energy. And for every dollar donated between now and January the 15th, they'll match dollar for dollar up to $500,000. So literally $1 million impact. And for every dollar that's donated to us, we're able to distribute 5 meals. So literally 5 million meals.
That is remarkable. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that every dollar donates 5 meals. The impact of this, well, actually explain to us what the impact of this could be, 1 million meals.
Well, the amazing, everybody loves the match. And so, if you're giving $1, you're really giving $2 now. And so for every dollar given to it, it's $5. So $1 million represents 5 million meals. And those are 5 million meals we might not have otherwise. So it's a huge opportunity. And the holiday season is the time people think about giving. So now to be able to give $1 and know it becomes $2 is a great opportunity.
Rodney, what will you guys do with this money specifically, just for people who donate? They may say, hey, where does my money go? What specifically happens with this money? You guys have a program lined out, and the food bank there, resource there in the warehouse, but explain where this money goes and what you guys do with it.
Well, like all nonprofits, we want to be good stewards of dollars
Sure.
that are donated to us. And so for every dollar donated to us, 96 cents out of every dollar goes to put food on people's plates. So literally, 94 cents. No, 96 cents. My math was a little off there.
This sounds ridiculously efficient.
It is. We're one of the most efficient nonprofits in the state of Oklahoma. We're proud of that. We want to continue that efforts. I'm a donor to the food bank, and so other donors that donate to the food bank, I want to make sure their dollars are used effectively and as efficiently as possible.
What sort of needs do you see in the community?
Well, regrettably, the issue of hunger continues to grow in the state of Oklahoma. We're under the usual circumstances that we have one of the lowest unemployment rates of the country, but we have this chronic underemployment where simply people aren't being paid enough to make ends meet. So we have a lot of people working 2 and 3 jobs without benefits, just struggling to keep food on their table and pay their rent, pay their utilities. Those are decisions Oklahoma shouldn't have to make.
And I'm sure you've heard these discussions and conversations from our fellow neighbors who have to make those decisions. How hard is it to hear those conversations?
Well, it's really hard. It affects the majority of people the food bank serves are the working poor, people working every day in, day out, playing by all the rules, simply aren't making enough to get by. Seniors who have given us so much, as society often say, is our seniors gave us a new deal, they deserve a better deal. They really believed that Social Security was going to be their pipeline to retirement, and it's simply not enough to get by. They're having to make choices whether they can afford prescription to get filled, or they can put food on their table. And of course, children. We're providing food to over 27,000 children, and children shouldn't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from.
You mentioned the Veterans Day is Pearl Harbor Day. There will be a remembrance ceremony right up the street here later this morning, so certainly a big shout out to our veterans. The Crescent family is hoping that this perhaps encourages others to get involved, right? That's correct.
Crescent Foundation wants everybody to really literally step up to the plate along with Chesapeake Energy and say, hey, we've made some decisions. We want to donate to the food bank. It's a very efficiently run organization. We want other people to do that too. And because of that, we'll be willing to match every dollar they donate.
And perhaps that match further encourages people to donate.
Absolutely,
because their dollar goes even further.
Hey, and it's holiday season. It's time of giving.
Rodney, before I let you go, one last question. You guys always have more programs and promotions in the pipeline. Anything we should be looking forward to as we head into next year?
Well, the exciting thing we have going on this year is we have put in a production kitchen. And we are now going to start producing our own meals for children.
Wow.
We just got it approved by the State Health Department a couple of weeks ago, so we're now going through a process of producing those meals and starting to deliver them out. And we'll be producing about 1,500 meals a day, and this kitchen can ramp up to about 5,000 to 10,000 a day in the future. So we're very excited about that. So we can make sure the quality of food their kids are getting are more nutritious, and we're also providing more fresh fruits and vegetables all the time. This year we'll probably distribute over 13 million pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables.
That's great. The production kitchen, does that produce the food and go to kids in schools, or?
It goes to after-school programs. We have 35
Okay.
Kids Cafe sites or after-school programs where kids are having, low-income kids are having difficulty in school. They can go to a safe place in their neighborhood, local church or somewhere. We provide the meals there in that safe environment. We recruit volunteers to come in and provide tutoring for them so they can improve their classroom performance.
Very nice. All right. He's Rodney Bivens, Executive Director of the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, the most wonderful match of the year. This program goes through January at some point, is that correct?
Goes through January 15th.
Goes through January 15th. Rodney, thanks so much for stopping in. Once again, happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.